Woo! Welcome to the Legion After Show right here on the stream.tv. Hey, y'all. I am Brooke Bergstoller, and joining me today is the beautiful Liz Fanning, Elizabeth Fanning. There we go. And, of course, we have PJ Patrick Campbell.
What's going on, guys? I'm happy to be here. This is not Legends of Tomorrow. I'm a little out of my element right now.
Oh, my goodness. It still starts with an L, though, so we're keeping you,
exactly.
you know, in a safe space. No tongue twisters. All right, you guys. So, Liz, what did you think of the show?
I absolutely loved it. I knew that with Noah Hawley behind it, it was going to be an amazing something, but I couldn't have expected the twists and a lot of the characters.
It was so entertaining. It was
Yeah.
so beautiful. I'm stimulated.
It is so good. Noah Hawley knows storytelling.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's the thing he proved with Fargo for the last 2 years. It's the thing that I can't wait for Fargo season 3 for. And he gets the X-Men universe. Like, this is so good. It's the thing that I've been waiting for in an X-Men universe for. I haven't seen anything like this ever, and I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, now this is probably a big no-no to just come out and say, but I'm not fully immersed in the DC Marvel world. I know. But I've always been so in love with X-Men, and that's why this was really exciting for me because I don't know, it was very unique. It was more magical than I'm Superman and I got a big chest and I'm here to save the day. I liked it.
It was very dreamlike, and I kind of liked that. We were talking about that. It had this really fantastical, otherworldly element where what's real, what's not real, and that was fun. And I liked that. It made it dreamlike.
Yeah, and it's I think we were talking about like the Kubrick feel of it, and also I think that one thing in terms of like unifying the X-Men world, even though like taking a totally different take on it, Lauren Stuller Donner, who made like Deadpool happen, made X-Men, like she's managing all of these universes so well, or the universe, but also just the different colors, I would say, in the universe now.
Especially now with Deadpool and this, like it's different.
Okay, I haven't seen Deadpool either. I'm sorry. But I love Legion. I'm totally hooked
Like she
on
said,
Legion.
guys, you can tweet
Oh, yeah, okay, so you can tweet all of your angry and aggressive messages towards me
Starting
at the
right
Stream
now.
TV, starting right now. And if you want to be a part of the conversation, use the hashtag Legion After Show.
Yes.
And at the end of the show, we're going to pull a few of your tweets and give you your whole 5 seconds of fame right here in the stream.tv. But let's keep the conversation going. So starting with the very first scene, we see David in the psych ward, and it's his birthday, and his sister tries to give him a cupcake, and he can't even have it. It was so heartbreaking. Like, that is a crime against a human. You can't eat chocolate?
So I had issue with that because I couldn't tell if it was that or that his sister's just munching away. Patrick, you thought?
I feel like it's more you can't just hand a mental patient anything because you don't know how
like
he's going to
prison?
react. Yeah, exactly. It's exactly like prison. I mean, you don't give a knife to someone in prison, so who know? And we know that he's completely crazy.
If anybody knows the rules in mental wards about bringing in desserts, please tweet in right now.
That's amazing. Also, now that I'm thinking about it, though, in that scene, she uses a sparkler.
Yeah.
And, like, would they let her have a flame or, like, a firework, like a baby firework?
So do you feel like that's like a nod to his pyrotechnic capabilities?
I think so, and I think that's kind of why he's like, you know, you can't give me that. Like, you know, I'm gonna react.
And then she eats it.
And that was kind of rude. Just
So
throwing it out there.
He's like, how was it?
Yeah.
I'm never going to have the taste of that
Yeah,
again.
but just
so.
under his breath too, which I think totally spells out what they're building up to be his relationship with his sister, in the same way that later when she takes the shears, like there's a level of her perfect life without him that she's kind of
And the fear she has for him.
Yeah, and Kate Hazelton's such a perfect choice for that because she's been handling comedy forever on The League.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Right on. So can we please talk about, because early on in the episode, we see a flash to Devil with the Yellow Eyes.
Yes.
That's your favorite character.
Yeah, my favorite. And then we keep seeing the Devil with the Yellow Eyes, who looks like he's like a big gooey blob. He's flubber. He looks like a thumb. I am not a fan. I was so freaked out. I don't know. Yeah. I really didn't see the point of this character yet, but I know that you have theories about who this might really be, tying into the whole X-Men universe. I don't know if you want to reveal that now.
Do you feel like now's a good time?
I feel like now's a good time if we're talking about it.
Okay. Okay. So Patrick and I, we can tag team. The first theory is that it's Mojo, who is not in the Legion comic, but is in the Marvel universe and is someone who looks-wise greatly resembles the Yellow-Eyed
And it demon. Totally looks like him. And I mean, Noah Hawley's been saying he's pulling from all these different things in the X-Men comics, so it would kind of make sense to pull something like Mojo of all characters.
Yeah. But then the kind of more Legion-based theory is...
You go with it. You explained it better than I did.
Okay, I think it's Shadow King. I want to get his name right. Shadow King. Yes, Shadow King. Sorry, guys. I'm here with my notes to make sure that I honor the Marvel lineage of this show. But in Shadow King, who obviously has many dealings with Legion, and is kind of his first big adversary outside of himself, right? That and obviously in this episode, Division 1.
Which is completely talked about over and over and over again.
But it's also, I don't know, my personal theory is that it's Karami, right? Because, and that's something that's in the Legion comic, but isn't addressed at all in this world yet. But it's somebody who exists in his mind initially at the start of things. So it's also, and we haven't seen hide nor hair of him. And I know Noah Hawley said he's rewriting some stuff, but that's a big person to lead out, especially because we have people that we think might be like Cindy and some other characters.
Well, and I think it's cool because we're building this groundwork to do this whole new world on the X-Men and this whole new take on the X-Men and to pull these different elements to throw people like us off and go, well, it could be anyone. And you're like, oh, come on, just tell me. Tell me who it is. I need to know. But it's fun. I like it.
Yeah.
He looks like he is a fat thumb. He is just a little like, hey, guys, what's going on? He's hiding in the corner. Not a fan of Devil with the Yellow Eyes, but that's okay. Moving along. So, Lenny, so you're talking about Cindy. You think that might be some parallel?
Yeah. So for Legion fans, there's 13. I think she's 13-year-old, and someone who Legion is also responsible for the death of. So there's that kind of question of, is she a different expression? However, Aubrey Plaza was also quoted as saying that originally her role was supposed to be played by like a 60-year-old Russian dude. So it's a question of like, is there just a correlation that maybe she's imbuing it with as an actress who's maybe read up on Legion, or is that?
And can we talk about how good Aubrey Plaza is in this, by the way? Because she's fantastic. Like, I love her. And to see her in something so different, because I'm so used to seeing her in Parks and Rec and, doing comedies. So to see her, she's kind of a comic relief, but it's so much more serious and kind of creepy. And I liked that. I liked she was playing something different. Noah Hawley gave her great work.
Especially her like conversation with him after she's dead, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like, I know, I'm dead. Isn't this crazy?
And not cool, bro. By the way, not cool.
You killed me. How Lenny goes down, oh my God. Yeah. That was there were a lot of gruesome scenes in this, actually. The pen through the face.
Yeah.
I actually didn't need to see that one. And then Lenny being pushed through a wall. First of all, I don't even know how you think of that as a creator. Oh, and then there's going to be an explosion and her body's going to almost go through the wall, but not entirely. I don't like that.
I know, you looked a little creeped out by it, but I thought it was kind of fun, and it shows just how powerful he is and how uncontrollable he is.
Yeah.
We don't know the strength that he can be. It's kind of cool, kind of crazy, and I like that.
It's interesting, though. Do you think when Sid took over, when they swapped bodies, do you think that she meant for Lenny to die, or it was just an accident?
No, I think it was definitely an accident.
Because I mean, she's been such a gentle, albeit mysterious character throughout the whole thing, and how little she wanted that transfer to happen. Because it does seem like, given the company that she keeps at the very end, that she's probably came in knowing exactly who he was, right?
Yeah, almost like she was looking for him.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's more
She
than
pops
anything.
in. There's somebody that comes to pick her up at the end.
Yes, I love that theory.
Yeah.
She knew all along.
Well, and it seemed like, I mean, I'll jump right to the end. It seemed like they knew who he was too. The
Yeah.
people who she's with seem like they know who he is.
He's probably famous in the mutant community. You know, he's Harry Potter. Everyone
The most
is looking
powerful.
for David.
Yeah.
I didn't see a thunderbolt on his head.
Just pulling them from the sky. Okay, so speaking of Sid,
Right.
what's the actress's name? Do you know the real life name?
It's
so lovely.
Keller. Is it Katie Heller? Rachel Keller.
Rachel Keller. She's so beautiful. She was
Yeah.
so lovely, and she had that dreamy vibration for me that was carried throughout the whole show. But so she says, "Don't put your hands on me.
Yeah.
Do not touch me." Which is like the best line to ever say to a guy to get him to be like, do you want to be my girlfriend? Don't touch me. I love you. So you were talking about how that's like a play on Rogue. She was my favorite. She was my favorite
Oh, yeah.
X-Men.
And again, we've been talking about they're really clearly pulling from all sorts of stuff. And she's very roguelike. She's even wearing the gloves towards the end of the episode, which I thought was a nice touch. But I liked their back and forth. We were all talking about it while we were watching. Their relationship is adorable.
Yeah.
Like, it really is.
Oh, and they're
I'm going
holding
to
the
say it.
cloth.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's fun. And I love her. And they have such good chemistry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I love that she came back to him at the end and she was like, I love you. I came back for you. And then someone gets shot in the shoulder and she's like, all right, we gotta go.
Well, and then doesn't she like prompt him? She's like, "This is when you say I love you back too."
Did
Don't
she
be
say
rude.
that, or was it in her head and he heard it? Because I thought that
There's a lot of that.
There's a lot of that, and I kind of thought he heard her in her mind, like, "Are you gonna say it?" Because remember,
Yeah.
he was starting to hear voices a lot. He's not on his medication,
Right.
And he's kind of crazy. So I think that maybe he heard it in his head.
Where are the voices coming from? Like in the comic, where are the voices coming from?
So they're people that he's absorbed, whole consciousnesses. So it's consciousness I.
Well, And for the uninitiated, Legion is actually Xavier's son, and that's
This
something.
much I know.
Yeah, and so it's something that's kind of maybe
Sorry,
alluded
guys,
to,
that we're
not
supposed to see that in like season 3, and are like,
Probably, yeah. But
That's a Google
so
search.
if anyone knows Xavier, he's the same way. He links into all the people throughout the world. He can hear them,
Oh,
and
yeah.
you know. So it's kind of a play on if Legion is as powerful, or if not more than Xavier, he's going to hear the same things. He's going to know the people, and he can hear them. And I liked that play. I
Yeah.
thought it was interesting.
Right on. I hope we get to see Xavier. I hope we get to see
I hope so too.
who do you think they'd get to play him?
James McAvoy.
Oh.
No, I wish
No,
it would
I
never
don't think
happen.
he's gonna make the jump to TV. He is.
Everyone's making the jump to TV nowadays.
Okay, good point. So more about this Sid-David relationship,
Yeah.
because I'm a softie, obviously. I love that there is this innocent tension of I can't touch you, and it's just like he just wants to kiss her. That's all. He just wants to have a kiss, and then of course that ends up to be a real bad idea. But then finally at the end of the episode, what was I gonna say? Yeah, I forget.
Well, I will say about their relationship, if we're talking about it, and that kind of tension,
That's it.
that the tension between them, and the moment that they finally do kiss is so powerful, and you see that in her mind what her memories look like, her TVs, and David's seen everything, and I liked that. I thought that was cool, and then they flip upside down, and it's this weird Stanley Kubrick moment.
Yeah.
And it was, I think when we were watching, I said it, the moment they flipped upside down was like the time that their lives finally turned upside down. Everything changed that moment, and I liked that. I thought that was really cool.
I remember what I was going to say finally. That when the end scene, the planets
Yeah.
colliding, or when they finally kiss, when the planets
That
touch.
was so cool.
How epic was that? That does not happen when I kiss anyone. I'm telling you right now. All right, so Mrs. Bird.
Oh yeah,
Again,
Yes.
the
yeah.
very end.
Who I don't know if they were planting an Easter egg when she says like sun, right?
There you go.
So it's immediately, and you just see her face kind of overcome with emotion, but clearly they're hearkening back to Dr. Moya McTaggart.
Yep.
Or a female Professor Xavier, or some people are hypothesizing like Magneto. So it's
Interesting.
Yeah.
That she would be a female Magneto. Oh my god.
Right? Because people assemble teams of mutants, right? Like, why does it have to be? Why do we immediately assume she's good because she's a woman? Because everybody else is like, oh, nice, seemingly nice
Yeah.
around her. You right?
And I think it's because we saw that obviously David has this infatuation
Yeah.
with her, and so she's with Miss Bird.
Yeah.
So for that alone, now we have to trust her, right?
Yeah.
At least that's what they're playing on with us. And I thought that was interesting. And Noah Hawley, thank you for giving Gene Smart time on television.
Yes.
I love it. Thank you.
From Fargo to
season
here,
2 to now. And
Rachel
I applaud
Keller and Hamish Linklater, who played the interrogator.
Yep.
Like
There you
he's just
go.
got like his whole Fargo team that he's looped up and thrown on screen. It's
That's
amazing.
fine. So this is actually Fargo season 3.
It's amazing. I can't wait for the spaceship to show up.
Okay, so do you guys ultimately think that David is going, like, do we think he's going to be a pure and innocent character throughout the season, or do you think that once he's like, yo, I got my powers, like, I will do whatever I want?
I think he's going to lose control, and I think it's going to overtake him. I really do. And I think he could almost be set up as like a villain by the time the season's over, and they're trying to protect him, but he becomes his own villain by accident.
You know what character he reminds me of, or at least this Fox's take on Legion, is Chronicle, the movie Chronicle.
I could see that.
The lead character who's just like, he's infuriated with his power, and it ends up to be his downfall. Well, ruined that movie for you guys.
Spoiler alert for a 5-year-old movie.
Yeah, there you go. Anything else that you guys want to add? Any particular standout characters or moments for you?
There's a lot. One thing I caught, and we were joking about it, is that David reminds me of Eleven from Stranger Things. They're both psychics who like waffles, who live in basements, and I thought that was kind of fun. I know it's a stretch, but it was.
Well,
I
even
liked
musically, we caught that
Yeah,
a couple bars of like. Meh.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, the tunes in this show.
Oh my God.
We heard Rolling Stones, The Who,
The Beatles.
The Beatles.
Yeah, that opening montage was something else where David's growing up and you hear the Beatles playing over it. Oh my God, how good was that?
With the mix of music and of course, like we already talked about the Kubrick like visuals, but like and even the delineation between his questioning at the hands of Division 1 versus Clockwork's Hospital, where there's like forest stuff. I think like visually and auditorily, it's such a rich world that they're building.
Yeah,
Which I mean, for somebody who it's all about his personal struggle against himself. We talked about it earlier, but I found a fantastic article where someone basically said like most Marvel things are about people kind of overcoming their demons, and what they said was especially notable about how the story is being told. And I would argue that some Marvel characters definitely have this journey of the anti-hero to it, but that it's about living with those demons instead, like learning how to live with them.
And I think, can we just say how cool it is that not only is Fox making this show, but they're doing it with Marvel and Noah Hawley. Like the creative team behind this is ridiculous.
Stanley, baby.
I mean, it's
Noah Hawley.
amazing to see Fox and Marvel working together, number one, but to get someone like Noah Hawley, who's done such good work for FX and with, it's amazing.
And is a novelist, so it's also,
Yeah.
you know, like he's coming at it from that kind of literary, I think, you know, he's got that kind of
storyteller.
first person and that whole world, that personal struggle he makes real to us as viewers because he's showing it visually and he's showing it with, or he's making it clear with sound.
And he actually directed this episode, Chapter 1. I think that's a cool element about the program, too, is that each episode I was searching online for the episode title, and I was like, is it really? It's chapter 1. Okay, cool, excellent. That'll keep it really simple moving forward. I won't have to search for it. So maybe we could all head over to Twitter.
Yeah, let's
and
see.
Who's talking about maybe the Legion after show, and if no one's talking about the Legion after show, then what are they saying about Legion? One particular tweet that I found from Adam Proto and his Twitter handle, very clever Adam, Prototype, but it's his last name spelled special. Anyways, he said, Legion FX is a fever dream, a cerebral symphony, and meditation on mental wellness all at once. I love that collection of words, homie. Yes, I feel it. I'm hooked as well. And Kate Azelton, probably not Aselton, right? It's probably Kate Azelton. She said, thought the premiere of Legion was a mindfuck. No, that was just foreplay.
I like that, and it's
Kate Azelton,
true.
who plays.
Oh, there you go. She plays the sister. Yeah.
Who is, sorry guys, I will get her name for you in a second so we can start calling people by their names. Amy.
Cool. Who I thought was in the previews of Legion, I actually thought that Kate Azelton was Jennifer Goodwin.
And she kind of does look like her. Like the profile is very similar. I could see that.
Any notable tweets, you guys?
Not right now.
Not right now. That's all right. Kate Azelton is busy on Twitter. I love it. She is so active. All right, you guys. Well, if you have any tweets, anything that you want to say, anything that was maybe your favorite moment in the show, let us know right now, and then maybe, just maybe, we'll be able to shout you out right here on the stream.tv. But
I will say, I thought that the dialogue was really good. There was a lot of really great little lines. The one in particular, when they finally sit down for the first time with Sid, and they're all kind of sitting in that circle, and she goes, you know, we're all here because someone said you're not normal. Like, it's a suit you're supposed to wear. And I thought that was really fitting and really this great moment that wasn't really touched. I wish there was more of that throughout the whole episode because the dialogue was so good. But that moment was so just... It unlocked everything for the show, and you can just see David going, like, looking at her, and he was so enamored at that point with her, and that's the leads to, will you be my girlfriend?
Yeah, well, and that's like his greatest hope, right? Is that he's, you want your demons to be a blessing, right? And I think that's what's heartrending about Legion in general, is that he's this person who generally intends to do good, right?
Yeah.
And it eventually, later in the comic, it brings him to real heartache, like the greatest heartache you can imagine.
And then they're also in that, the Division 1 creepy base thing, and the guy who's running it, what was in the cage? He had that cage. Did you guys catch that?
Oh my gosh, I think it was a wolf. Because remember the guy, his character name was called the Eye or something?
Yeah.
The wood whittler, very busy whittling tiny animal statues. He was like, I made your spirit animal, here you go. But he made a wolf, and I think there was a wolf in the cage.
I know.
Maybe that's his superpower or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I was kind of hoping it was Wolverine in the cage. I know it's not Wolverine, but how cool would it be if it was like, we have him locked up, and it was like the feral version of Wolverine, not... Because we've only seen that very, very little.
Oh my God, Patrick!
I'm just saying, how cool would that be?
You're blowing her mind.
I'm just saying.
I'm so excited to see all the other mutants that we get to explore in this show.
And they did say the word mutants. Let's throw that out there. They are mutants. They said the word.
One time. They were very careful with really tying this back to anything in particular, but
especially the most powerful mutant ever, which we were all like, whoa.
Yeah.
The silence that fell
so
over
this
the
gonna be drama. All right, you guys. Well, last thoughts?
I can't wait to see where the show is going. I love this. This is a perfect assembly of creative minds with such a perfect cast, and Dan Stevens is amazing. Let's just throw that out there. If you guys haven't seen The Guest, I told you guys about this earlier. See The Guest. Dan Stevens is amazing, and this is just like an extension of how good he can be. Check it out. It's amazing, and I can't wait to see where the season goes.
Beautiful. Liz?
building off of the Dan Stevens comment, also that Dan Stevens is playing the Beast in Beauty and the Beast coming
yeah.
up.
Snap.
Oh, yeah. You didn't know that?
God, no. You guys, I live under a rock, okay? But I'm back because I'm watching Legion, and I am so stoked. All right, well, thank you so much, Patrick and Liz, and thanks you guys for watching the Legion After Show. Make sure you're following us at the Stream TV, and for all of you super fans, in the description of this video, you're going to be able to find our conversation groups on Facebook, thanks to Lance Ospresser. You know who you are, Lance, because that's literally your name. So make sure you're a part of our conversation on Facebook. Make sure you're following us everywhere, and make sure you tune in next week when we'll be back with another Legion After Show.
I can't wait, you guys. It's going to be great.
I know. All right. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.